Have your attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Kenya, and yes, I know it's Tuesday, but it's cool because there are no rules. There are no rules to get tips tea with your girl, but today is not tips tea Thursday. No, it is tacos and tequila. What? Tuesday. Yes, I had my tacos earlier. All right, I had my tacos earlier. You go ahead. Uh-oh, that's what I was trying to avoid. You go ahead, get your tacos, your tequila, if that's your thing. If that is not your thing, get something, grab something to bite. It's dinner time. Because we got stuff what to discuss today. All right, if this is your first time in here with your girl live, type in the chat. Type in the chat hashtag sips. All right, my OGs. Hold on. I don't have my tequila tonight. Maybe later tonight. But right now, your girl's sipping on her water though. Okay. But if you are an OG in the building, type hashtag sips. All right, whether you're watching it live with your girl right now or if you're watching it later, hashtag sips. But if you are new, type hashtag tips. That means go ahead, get your notebook for your tips. And that's why we grabbing our what? Cup for our sips. Because tonight we are going to talk about this Cam Newton / Nick Cannon / Dr. Bryant interviews. Now, usually that is not what I wanted to come to you guys today for because y'all, I really wanted to talk about, well, it's all going to tie in. It's all going to tie in because we talking about broken homes. We're talking about baby mama, baby daddies. We're talking about accountability. Y'all know we was going to get into that. However, we are getting into all of that. Why? Because that is what was covered in those two most anticipated, not most anticipated because this show right here is the most anticipated. All right, Tips Tea Tuesday. Have I been saying that on Tips Tea Tuesday? No, tacos and tequila. So what, do you have your tacos or your tequila? I had my tacos earlier. Go on and get in here. So this is how we're going to do this. Let me put my water down because it's water right now, although it's tacos and tequila. Listen, type in the chat. This is going to be interactive. Why? Because you guys wanted me to come in here and chat. What? And y'all wanted me to come up in here and chat about these interviews. Now, hold on, because I got my notes. It was so much to uncover. First of all, when y'all slid in my DMs and told me to talk about this, nobody told me that these interviews were about 2 hours apiece. Didn't know about when y'all were slick with it. Y'all sent me a clip here and there, but no, because y'all know that I was gonna have to go back and watch the whole entire. If you guys have watched, let's start over. If you do not know what I am referring to, I'm not going to give the whole background on these videos. But Cam Newton, former football player, had a sit down with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, and Nick Cannon also had a sit down with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, and they talked about various things from mental health, men's health, having multiple children by multiple women, like I said, the family dynamics. And you guys came into my DMs. Y'all was like, yes, she read them. All right. I never thought about it like that. Because they were talking about how many children. Now, both of these men, y'all know both of these men have multiple children. And I'm not talking about 3 or 4 or 5. They got football teams, soccer teams, basketball teams, even more that's on the court, even more. But by different women. Y'all know the background to the story. So again, type in the chat if you have already seen these interviews. If you have not, I am not going to say go back and watch them. If you be, again, 2 hours long a piece, an hour and a half for the Nick, and I believe Newton was about a good 2 hours. If you have that, and listen, I was sent clips, all right? And when the clips were sent to me, it was, yes, Dr. Cheyenne was talking to Cam Newton about how he plants different seeds in children everywhere out of selfishness because he still desires to have more. Cam Newton has 8 children. He still desires to have more children, and he is not married yet. And here was the kicker, guys. He said that he fears marriage more than he does fatherhood. Now that's where it went off. That is what y'all were sending your girl. So we are definitely going to touch into that tonight as we get into this taco and tequila. Now, Nick was a different story. All right, Nick, well, a similar story, but it was a different vibe, y'all. And if you guys have seen these two, again, you will see that it's just a different vibe. Yes, different personalities. Cam had me. Cam, now look, a lot of y'all were like, I can't take Cam serious. I just can't take his outfits. Y'all, Cam is Cam, y'all. So a lot of people, y'all couldn't take him serious. I loved it. But it was entertaining. It was entertaining. I was gonna say, dare I say, I enjoyed it a little more than I did the Nick interview, and I did. I did. But the Nick one was a little heavy. It was a little deep. It felt like a coaching session, and it was. He said that in the beginning. It was 3 parts. He called them his 3 sessions, counseling sessions, whatever he used, and that's what it was. It was very heavy. It was deep. And so let's start with the Nick Cannon interview. And again, I got my notes. Y'all get y'all notes because 2 hours for each. Listen, if you guys have a spare 4 hours of YouTube on your hands, first, check out your girl YouTube channel before you go check out any other channel. All right, check out your girl YouTube channel. Kenya's Keepsake. This is we live streaming right now. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Hey y'all. Again, if you are new, type in #tips because you are going to be getting some tips, and I want you to write down and take away some of these keepsakes. All right. But if you are my OG, #sips. Give it to me. All right. So listen. Also, you know what? Because I'm going to open the phone lines. What I am going to do, because we got stuff to discuss, I'm going to open the phone line. I'm going to have the phone lines open all evening. All evening while this show is happening. Y'all know how we do. Hold on. Because I always get my scrolling wrong. I wish it would go that way. That's kind of look. If you guys got some stuff you want to discuss, you want to chime in on this and the interviews, the topics, anything, holler at your girl, call me. I am going to keep that number rolling. All right, let's go. Hold on, let me sip my water. Now again, I have my notes. The Nick Cannon, let's start with the Nick, my boy Nick. His body language throughout the entire interview was very, very noticeable. He was fidgeting. He was fidgeting. He was out of anxiousness. He just kept moving. His eye contact was little to none, very little. And although it was a subtle defensiveness in his tone, it was at one point where he said, like, oh, you challenging me. You challenging me. Right. And again, he was on a little couch. If y'all see it, his body language, he was here. Yeah, I wish I can't even demonstrate, but my boy was here. He was here. Again, no eye contact. No eye contact. He was here. It was at one point, I can't even, hold on, let me try to get back. My boy had his leg. He was crossed out on the couch like this at one point. I mean, and Nick, what's happening? So that right there also said a lot about how those sessions were going, because again, those were 3 sessions and he was getting definitely read. All right. Again, if you guys have seen it, type in the chat, comment, and let your girl know what you guys thought about it. Or if you guys really got some stuff to discuss about this, call the number down here. All right. Let's get into first Dr. Cheyenne. A lot of people are saying, like, I've never seen her before. I haven't known her. Dr. Cheyenne Bryant has been a doctor, or has had the Cheyenne Bryant Institute for 17 years. And what was interesting about her and her background, and I wrote my notes on this one because she started off by saying that she was raised by her father. She was raised by her father, a single dad, because her mom abandoned her as a young child. And she said that her dad told her this specifically: if you ever run into a guy that resembles anything like me, it's a no. This is what her dad told her. All right. Now, usually you hear they say that, oh, the woman, well, yeah, unconsciously the woman looks for the man and she wants a man that resembles her father and X, Y, and Z. He told baby girl, he said anything. The common theme has been, it starts in the home. That has been my common thing lately. If you go back to my episodes on Tipsy Thursday, starts with episode 3, I believe, about Mr. Keepsake, my bestie. And we talked about it starts in the home when you were a child. And so, baby girl right here, Papa already told her, anything like me, the opposite. And then he told her, now this is a father's advice to his baby girl. And then he told her, God made 3 types of men: an excellent father, but a horrible husband; an excellent husband, but a horrible father. And if you're blessed, you'll get both. Did y'all hear what Papa told baby girl? God made 3 types of men in the world: an excellent father, but a horrible husband; an excellent husband, but a horrible father. And if you are blessed, you get both. But then he continues to say, and these were her words. She said, and then he says, if you must choose the man that is the excellent husband, but the horrible father, because a man will only love his children to the extent that he loves that mother. Did y'all hear that? Again, type in the chat. Let me know if you are following me, if you are here with me. #sip, #tips. But call your girl on the screen if you got some stuff to discuss, because it starts in the home. So this and I'm not disagreeing, because it made me think about my own situation. And I talk about this. There's a video on my YouTube channel I did not choose him, and that's okay. And that starts off my journey about how I broke off a whole engagement. And to this point, it made me think when she actually said that, because I have always said that I believe that my daughter's fatherhood was conditional based on our relationship, or based on codependency. Because when I decided that I did not choose him, go back and look at it. It's a whole series. It's a part 3, part 4, and 5 is coming. When I decided that I did not choose him, he didn't choose his daughter either. And oh my God, I thought, and it was very, 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 uh, it was a very, I'm trying to think of the correct word to say. It was a very, it wasn't a traumatic breakup, right? It wasn't no cheating, no violence. There was no nothing. It was a very, I believe that it was a very effective communication, but that's neither here or there. I did not choose him. And when I did not choose him, he decided not to be around. And that hold that thought, because that leads me into what I originally wanted to discuss, which was a single parent home equating to a broken home. Oh, it went up on Facebook yesterday. All right. When I tell you it went up on Facebook yesterday because I posted that, I got both sides of the coin, of the keepsake coin, on that one right there. But we're going to get back to that one. Hold a pin in that one. That's why you got your notes. Hold a pin in that one, because it's going back to the fact that I kind of feel, hold on, let me go back to my notes, that he said that the father's love for his children is deeply tied to his relationship with their mother, which raises questions about the true dynamics of love and responsibility in relationships, because that's conditional. And then I'm gonna give y'all a little sneak peek, because I haven't gotten to this. Will probably be in part 4, part 5. Hold on, let me see. When he did decide to come back around, it was because he had gotten another girlfriend. Conditions. Because when he broke up with that girlfriend, he was gone again. Conditions. Now, that wasn't directly tied to the mother here, but pattern. Y'all see the pattern where I'm going with that? But it starts in the home, because again, baby girl, Papa said, look, this is where it is. Type in the chat, what have you guys as parents, any of my parents in here, type in the chat, what type of things have you told your children? Parents, what type of things have you discussed? What gems do you believe that you have dropped for your children? I mean, because for me, I told my daughter before, this is one gem that I have given to my daughter. I said, be with someone that treats you well, even when they're in a mood. That's just one gem I told my daughter. My daughter's 21. That's just one gem. But be with someone who still knows how to treat you well, even when they're not in the best of mood, in a mood, going through things, whatever the case may be. That's just one gem. We can elaborate on that later, because that's not what this is about. But again, type in the chat. Let me know any of the gems, all my parents in here, and my non-parents, or what about some gems that your parents taught you that you remember? You know, good, not so good, sounded good then, didn't really work now, or has it worked? Let me think. My granny, love granny, love her, but Granny told me, and y'all know your girl is very candid with y'all, and I'm gonna let y'all know. Granny told me at one point, like, don't you have a spare tire in your car? Yeah, Granny, why? Why you don't have no spare? Granny, I didn't take that advice. See, that's what I'm saying. Either good, not so good. What were the gems? Type in the chat. Let me know some of the gems that you heard. But let's get back into Nick. Because again, so much to dissect. I don't want to spend too much time on the Nick Cannon one because we have to move to the Cam Newton one. But 2 hours. Didn't nobody tell me that it was 2 hours. All right. I'll just say it. All right, cool. But also, let me say, in those 2 hours, social media, they're only gonna highlight, and I get it, and it was good because they highlighted some parts that were only exposed, which was about the baby mama family dynamic, the planning the different families and not desiring to be married, and that was just a small part. So that's why your girl had to go back to make sure that there were some other things that I was not missing so that I could come to y'all and we can have this dialogue and don't nobody sound crazy. All right. So yes, your girl did that. And let's again, Nick Cannon, body language, he's fidgeting. What I also noticed was that a lot of people were, no, we're not gonna get into that one. We are. Let's jump right into this. First of all, again, let me check the chat. Is everybody good in here? I don't. Let me know if I'm moving too fast, too slow. I just want to make sure I'm not missing any comments. Again, look, this number, it's gonna stay scrolling just in case anybody want to call in and get your girl in. Let me see. Everybody all right? Type in the comments in the chat. All right, let's get into it. Now, another interesting point was that we shifted from the word. Look, this is where I really want y'all to follow me on here because this was a very important point for me. And we went from the point of having who comes first. Nick swears all the way up and down and around that the children come first. And I know a lot of people that might say the children comes before your spouse, whether it's your husband or your wife, the children comes first. And Nick says that that's why he's detached. My children are going to come first. Whatever the woman has going on, I'm fleeing. We can do, but my children come first. I'm going to always make sure that they know that they come first before any and everything. Now, how many of you guys type in the chat agree with that? Your children come first before your spouse. You are going to let your children know that they are number one, and not take it, and that everybody else needs to know that they are number one. And if no one else does, you know that your mama or your daddy know that you number one. How many in the chat has done that to their children? Type in the chat, let me know. Because Dr. Bryant made a great point and said, hey, you shouldn't do that. And he's like, why not? Like, my children are a priority. They're number one, and they should know that. To her point, which I thought was a very interesting point, is that you are giving them privilege and entitlement that they might not be able to maintain when they go out into the real world. Did y'all feel that? So what she is saying is that you at home are pumping up. You're number one. You're everything. You come first. You're this and that. And Dr. Bryant made a point to say that creates a false of prioritization. That creates a belief to the children that they can disrespect others because they have the belief that they are number one. It creates this false sense. So I have to think about it. Like, because what also happens is that if you go along life believing that you are number one, you are top tier because your parents have pumped that in you, and you get into a relationship with someone who does not know how to receive that or to give that, you're shooketh. You are shooketh. And let's not even go as far as relationships. Let's just go as far as anywhere in the world. School, work, the outside, sports. If you feel you are number one and then the outside world or someone else treats you like you're shooketh, you don't know what to do because your entire life you've been operating as you come first. You come first, you're number one, and it is what it is. That was a good point, my friend, because there is a difference between motivating and supporting and then unpreparing your children or not preparing your children, having your children unprepared. That's what I meant. Look, I'm not even sipping. Having your children unprepared when someone doesn't put them on the same pedestal that you do. Think about that, y'all. Think about that. Type in the comment. Y'all, I'm going to keep typing the comments in chat. Let me know. The phone lines are open. I would love for anyone to call in. I got some stuff to discuss about these interviews and just about your take on it. And particularly any of my guys that are in here, because this is something that we are going to look. Tips Tea Thursday is on Thursday. And I am pretty sure we are probably going to touch on this again then. And guess what, y'all? Yes, if you are in the Los Angeles area, the Keepsake Battle with a Perspective Mixer is Friday as well. And I know we are going to touch on that there as well. All right. Oh my goodness, where we at? Type in the comment, type on the chat. Again, let's go into so many notes on the Nick Cannon thing. Let's go into another thing that Nick Cannon, because a lot of you guys came and said that Nick isn't taking accountability, Kim isn't taking accountability, and it was like, whoa, interesting. Speaking of accountability, y'all know your girl. What? Let's define these misdefined terms. And one of them is accountability. Why? Because it is a word, and Dr. Bryant agreed that it's just thrown around, particularly when it comes to women. But Nick and Cam didn't take any accountability here in either of these interviews. Now, that's based on what the word that is society is throwing around accountability. Let's go into the definition because you know your girl got it. I had to. I'm gonna look. I know what I know, and what I don't, I'm gonna find out. Okay, but I'm not gonna speak accountability. Y'all know your girl got the definition. The fact or condition of being accountable, responsibility. I'm gonna leave that one right up there while we talk about this. Because when you dissect accountability, what does that mean to you? Let's go there. Let's start on what accountability, because I have my notes as well on how Nick and Dr. Brian went. Which one is that? I told you I had so many notes on these, but the word accountability was thrown around. And what I really enjoyed about, I don't even have my notes, but we're just going to fly on it. Oh, accountability. What I enjoyed about watching that is that it made me really think about the fact that accountability, you won't really, and Dr. Brian said that you won't really know if someone is taking accountability until the next situation happens. And I say that to my clients all of the time. So when everyone throws out the word accountability or say they didn't take accountability or she didn't take accountability, what does that mean to you? Type in the chat, because I have a comment over here and I'm going to read this one, but type in the chat about what accountability means to you. I have the definition up here, but it's important because, like I said, a lot of words are misdefined. And when they're thrown around, you can't effectively have a resolution for something that is misused and misdefined. So I'm gonna go here in the comments. It is important for the kids to know they're important, but they could use that even against their mom. Yes, I believe I understand what you are saying. Yes, important. So that is the motivation, the support. You're feeding your children that, but to give them, like I said, something that they can't maintain outside, I can see where Big D is saying that it could be used against their mom, because let's just say, and this just might be on a smaller scale, you go out to the park. Oh, let's just even go tryouts. Try out. I'm a cheerleader. Cheers life. Cheers life. I mean, I made cheer. But what I'm saying is that, say for an example, and this is just for example purposes, because my parents were the most supportive. Look, I was a cheerleader and our football team sucked, but the cheerleaders were A1. All right. And my parents came to every single football game, and I was a cheerleader. That's support. That's support motivation. But had my parents, hold on, had my parents have pumped me up to believe that I came first, I was the priority, I was number one, and everybody else needed to know it, came tryout times, I would not have been a nervous wreck. I would have not, because you get the attitude like, I'm in there, they're gonna choose me. All right. But say my parents did instill that in me and give that to me. Now, my best friend, my bestie, and I, my best friend Krista, the dog, y'all know her. If y'all know, y'all follow your girl. If y'all know her, if y'all continue to follow your girl, you'll get to know her. We were both cheerleaders. She made co-captain. I didn't. But that was cool. I made the team. My point in saying that is that, if my parents would have, there are some people that are entitled, feel like they should be this, and this. That would have been me. And I would have used that against my parents. And again, this is just for small example purposes, to go back to what Big D is saying. So the motivation, the support is, yes, I knew that I was a great cheerleader. I knew it was the support, the good luck, the all of that. You got this. They didn't go in there like, you gonna be the captain. You gonna not. No, that is the difference that we were talking about. It starts in the home, y'all. It definitely starts in the home. And again, nothing that listen, I am not saying do not go and pump your kids up. Tell them all of that. That is needed. Again, that is a difference between setting them up for something later that they cannot maintain. Or if you are going to do that, again, teach them the other side of it. Show them the other side of it as well. Does that make sense? Because that was good. And then also, this just came. I need a little light bulb sign, like ding. This just hit me. Nick, you have 12 kids. I believe it's 12. If I'm wrong, let me know. I believe it's 12 because Cam guy have 8. He has 12. If you put all your children first, it's 12 of them. That is Dr. Bryan's point about spreading all of the love. She was saying, she was getting into these men about spreading all of the love around. And although that they are active fathers, her point to Nick and Kim was that you can only be as active as your capacity allows you to be, because you're spreading yourself through all of these children. And that was her point of making broken or creating broken homes, right? And so my point that I was making yesterday was that, all right, yes, I understand what she was saying about Cam and Nick, you're going different places, you're having all of these children, you're creating broken homes. It seems as if they're intentional from us outside looking in, right? We don't really know, but it seems that it's intentional. But these are still unmarried men that are creating all of these broken homes until they get married. And this was Dr. Brian's point, especially when she was talking to Cam, because Cam still desires to be married. I'm not sure if Nick is or not, so I'm not going to say that. But she was saying it's unfair to these other little babies that you created these broken homes for, and then you find your wife and create a home. Sorry, she used the term home with the wife and houses with the others. But you're still running yourself thin. Now, to both of the men's defense, they're like, look, I am a present active father. So broken. And I felt that part of it. So again, there's two sides of this, right? It's the broken aspect of where you're just creating broken families, meaning you're just having all of these babies out of wedlock and you just continuously. But then my point was to not define a broken home as a single parent home. But let me say that backwards. Defining a single parent home as a broken home was something that just shook me a little bit, and why I wanted to bring it out, because I have experienced both, right? So your girl got another definition, and this definition is just so that we can understand what broken is. So here we go. Broken, having been fractured or damaged and no longer in one piece or in working order, or of a person having given up all hope, despairing. All right. So most have argued that it is what it is because it has been the family, the traditional family dynamic has been fractured or damaged and is no longer in one piece. So it will be considered a broken home. All right, got it. If we want to go that technical, but society has put the word broken in such a negative connotation that it's unfair to tell a thriving child that grew up in a single parent home that you grew up in a broken home. Now, going back to myself, I have experienced both on both ends. I grew up in a loving two-parent home. My brother and I, it was great. But my daughter, again, remember, I did not choose him. Go back, YouTube, it's a video on it. I did not choose him. So therefore, I raised my daughter as a single parent. I have never once thought, heard, or even considered a broken home or a broken home, not even a broken family, because it was a broken home. And I had to ask my daughter. I had to ask her again before I come to you guys, because I wanted to be actual factuals. I had to ask my daughter. I said, hey girl, she's 21. I said, have you ever considered yourself to be raised in a broken home? She was like, what? Exactly, right? But that was her initial, like, what? And she was like, no. I was like, okay, cool. Have you ever heard anyone tell you or refer to your situation or that you have been raised in a broken home? She was like, no. So that brings me into, is it a mentality? Is the broken home by a single parent home equaling, hold on, because I got that. This is what I want. A single parent home equal broken? Because on the flip side, we would argue that a two-parent home could be considered a broken home if one parent is not as functional or as functional. That's another one. Oh my, look, I hope y'all gonna rock with me. We in here because it's so many things that I want to touch on. And I'm here if again, rock, comment, let me know your thoughts. Let me know hashtag tips. If you are new, hashtag sips. If you are an OG, because you know how this goes. All right. But back to my point. A two-parent home could be broken. Mm-hmm. Yes, but we don't say that. And I would love to even argue, not to argue, because your girl's not gonna argue. It's all about love and resolution here. Is that we, as in the two-parent homes, excuse me, y'all. Oh, hand sanitizer. This is good. Is that I never even thought to walk around and say, hey, y'all, I grew up in an unbroken home. It's a girl in an unbroken home. Now, what I did question was, all right, is it circumstantial? What if the other parent unfortunately passes away? Is it still a broken home? I mean, I guess if we go by the definition, because it's no longer in one piece of one. But again, guys, think about it. The word broken just comes with such a negative connotation. When you think about, oh, you broke my heart, you broke, like, I would, if you have a child and is thriving in a single parent home, and you go to that person or that child and you're like, oh my gosh, you're being raised in a broken home. Well, how would that feel? How do you, and I'm just, and again, argue. I am going to go live and do another segment on this broken home thing because I actually want to read the comments from Facebook. So I probably shouldn't have even started that, but it all ties in. No, I'm gonna part two of that broken home, because your girl with Facebook went in. It was over 50, 75 comment because it was on two different. We're gonna go back in that. Where we at in time? What I really, really, really want to get into are these new words that were popping up. These new words that were popping up in this video, and I'm sorry, in these interviews. Follow me, y'all, because we traded in, and I don't know when. Maybe this is just new and this just came up, but we traded in the words high value and low value for high functioning and low functioning. And when I say we, I'm using that lightly because we do not need another term, y'all, that is going to go here and there, misused, misdiagnosed. We don't need it. But is that this glare? Hold on. Oh yeah, because your girl, hold on. I keep seeing the glare. But anyway, we don't need any other terms. But let's get into it because these terms were used a lot between the both discussions. So high value, low value. Let's table that one. Again, get your notes. Oh, y'all thought I was playing. No. It's a little scribble scrabble here because high value, low value. She used high functioning. All right, high functioning. So I'm listening. I said, when I think of high functioning, I've only heard that term when it comes to autism. I have cousins that are autistic. I've been there my whole, and when I think of high functioning, right? So she was referring to high functioning men and low functioning men. She was calling Nick and Cam low functioning men, but they were high value. Follow me. So I have to say, what is high functioning? A high functioning person, people may possess skills that allow them to read, write, and speak effectively, but struggle more with other functional abilities such as emotion or social I ran out, and that should say skills. Look, that's the definition that I found. Y'all know your girl is gonna go for the definition. Did it sound like it tied into something? No, it didn't to me, but I had to come with it because again, I'm gonna do my research. I know what I know and I don't, but she kept high functioning. It doesn't correlate. It doesn't correlate at all. This is what she was saying. Okay, so high functioning, she was saying, has emotional intelligence. Okay, all right, I can see that. But again, where are these words? Where are these terms coming from? And hey, I looked it up. If anybody can send me something else that says something that they can find on what a high functioning person in a relationship is and a low functioning person is in a relationship, let me know. Send it to me, DM to me. I looked. Your girl did high and low, and this was the only definition that I came up with: high functioning person. Again, you guys have to see the clip to try to see what I'm picking up what I'm laying down. But what I did find, because terms, I was really trying to understand where they were going into. So I was like, all right, let me try to find something. So I found new terms: over functioning and under functioning. All right, high, low. But these are what I found. And it made more sense to me. Again, not saying that the high functioning and low functioning person, that I found that, here we go, someone who is under functioning, I should say functioning, in a relationship. Oh, someone who under functions in a relationship is often dependent on their partner in obvious and subtle ways. I could see that. I could definitely see that. And then hold on. The overfunctioner is the one who takes on too many responsibilities and always try to fix things. That makes more sense to me when we're talking about over functioning and high functioning or lower functioning. See, she got me all twisted. That interview, it was long, but you see where I'm going. If you ever see the interview, see, she was referring to high functioning, low functioning, calling Nick and Cam low functioning because they have these multiple children with multiple women and they're operating in their fear. That was said a lot, that they're operating in their fear and well, Nick specifically was a runner. And that was another. Whew, look, again, dissected. I don't mind doing part 2 going live. Like I said, I know that on Thursday there are going to be more. Type in the chat if you guys are still with me. Again, look, the phone lines are still open. If anybody wants to join in and talk to your girl, let me know. Look, I have them open here. Y'all see the number scrolling. But even outside, the comment, the chats, we are all in here. Now, let's talk about value. And this is it. I'm not gonna hold y'all all night, but because we could do this, and this is just Nick, y'all. I haven't even touched on the Cam. This is how deep, like I said, it was more deep. It was more serious with Nick Cannon. I can't even say it was a little chuckle. I even feel, going back to Nick Cannon's body language, that his laughs and chuckles were even nervous and anxious laughs. You know how somebody that's how my boy Nick was responding to even that. So it was good. Listen, it was definitely good. You just see Nick in a different light. It was definitely a safe space. Like I said, no matter how deep they got and how much accountability that Nick did not take. Okay, but again, we got into accountability. You know what it is. Hey, here we go. Ooh, your girl's always on. It's not the accountability that people seek, because again, You cannot recognize accountability until the situation or the challenge presents itself again. So you don't know. And that's why so many people want an immediate action. And that's why you hear them say, "Oh, he didn't take accountability. They didn't take accountability. They didn't." Well, how do you know? But again, what does that mean exactly to everyone else? Taking accountability. What does that mean? Because I believe that what it really means is that people want the other person to admit. Did y'all catch that? Did y'all write that down in y'all notes? I think it's not so much about taking accountability. It's more about you wanting, because again, everybody wants the immediate reaction. And oh my goodness, this was another point. Like I said, it went on. This was another point that they made. Sometimes when people say accountability, they want sorry, an immediate apology or sorry or something like that. And that is not taking accountability, guys. Saying, and that's where the misconstruedness, if it's not a word, Webster, pick it up, comes in, because you sit there and you wait and you're like, he didn't take accountability, she didn't take accountability. Like, sorry. And is that what you want to hear? That's not, but people really want people to admit something. And if you had to have an instant gratification, that's what that is. So let's really hold on. Let me put up accountability again. The fact or condition of being accountable, responsibility. It's not going to be instant, y'all. Now, in some cases, you would hope and you would only pray that the conflict or the challenge or the situation doesn't come up again, to where you have to see if that's what's happening, right? But that's the only way you're going to know. Oh, y'all, that was accountability in my words. Really quickly, type in the comments of the chat. Follow me. Like I said, Tips Tea Thursday is Thursday. Grab your tips and your sips for Thursday. Follow me so we can get into some more stuff that's going on. Like I said, the theme has been family dynamics, accountability, and we gotta get this thing. That's Thursday. My mixer's Friday. Listen, I'm just happy that these discussions are happening. These discussions are happening. They touched on mental health. We can't do all of that right now. Tacos and tequila. We cannot. But well, the last thing that I do want to touch on is that value. Let's high value, low value, because again, we switch that out, and it's high functioning, low functioning, but there was still some high value and low value intertwinements going on in there. So let's go with value. And I'm going to tell you why I have this definition up right now. Value: the regard that something is held to deserve, the importance, worth, or usefulness of something, a person's principles or standards of behavior, one's judgment of what is important in life. Now, does that correlate? High value men, high value woman, low value men, low value woman. Reason why I am bringing the definition up is because throughout these two interviews, they equated value to money. That's it. That's all. High value is equals to money. Value: the regard that something is held to deserve, the importance, worth, or usefulness of something, a person's principle or standards of behavior, one's judgment of what is important in life. Now, when I first start hearing the word high value, this is the word that I thought about. had to do with your morals, your values. It was self-explanatory to me. I did not really feel it at the moment on how it was correlating with the relationships and how you got a high value man and all that, because they did attach it to monies. So a high value man is based on his monies. Now, my question is, when we think about that, come on, y'all, because I really need answers for everyone that is with this high value, because that means it has to be levels to all, into whose value, whose salary value. Because, all right, let's touch on the Cam Newton one real quick. In the Cam Newton interview, Dr. Bryant was referring a high value woman to Oprah. Yeah. So Cam goes, and I'm with him. You can't compare nobody to Oprah. Oprah is the values of the values of the highest of the values, because she was saying that Stedman was low value but high functioning. You can't y'all see, man, we could do this all night. We could do this all night because it was that deep. As a matter of fact, it will be a part 2. Your girl might go on tomorrow. But value, again, you can't. So Oprah being a high value woman, who else is a high value woman? Because again, she the values of the values. So if I'm thinking I'm about to be, if I want to call myself a high value woman and you call Oprah a high value woman, honey, baby, don't high value me. Because it's levels to that. So therefore, in my eyes, right, my dad, high value. All right. Okay. Don't even know how much my daddy made, but it don't matter because my dad's high value. But oh, excuse me, y'all. It's because the fan is going. And sometimes, but it's so funny. I had a running joke with my daughter years ago that I wanted DJ Khaled to be my real daddy because he had a lot of money. This was DJ Khaled was back then, right? I was joking. It was a couple years ago. But the point was, DJ Khaled, he on top. Okay. Another one. And that would mean to say, so does that mean that at that point, in my eyes, my dad should be low value because DJ Khaled was high value based on his money? Come on, y'all. These are the things that I need you guys to start thinking about when you guys are starting out there looking at these interviews, looking at these podcasts. And there are some good ones out there. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that stop misdefining, misdiagnosing, misinforming. All right, and do some digging for yourself, because everybody's values, everybody's beliefs, everybody's high and lows are not the same. They are not. And again, when I think of the word value, it has not, and this is your girl. This is your girl, and also the definition. And whoever else is with me, type in the chat. Type in the chat if you equate value to money, or if you equate value to principles, standards, or behaviors. You don't have to type all that in. But okay, let me see. Type in the chat 1 if you equate value. Let's go with this, to principles or standards of behavior first. Type 2 in the chat if you equate value to money. Look, listen, be honest, let your girl know. All right, I'm just saying that when I thought about it, I just did not. I don't equate value to money when it comes to a person. Whether it's a man or a woman, I would not want anybody to point me out and label me as high value based on the money that I make, because or a salary or anything like that, because times change, things change. Yeah, every situation changes. So if I, 10 years ago made $5 an hour, I was low value then, I'm high value now. Personality is the same. Money ain't changed. More money, more profit. You see, and that's just an example. These are the things that I want you guys to, again, think about when you are watching, when you are thinking of what you guys want in a person. And let's try, yes, terms are terms. Let's try to stop misusing terms, misdefining terms, undefining terms, changing definitions, and all of that. All right, y'all. Oh my goodness. Again, I still got notes here. I still have notes here. I hope you guys wrote down your notes, your tips, your keepsakes, because it's definitely going to be a part two. Again, I didn't even touch on the Cam Newton one. I didn't even finish the Nick Cannon one. But I am so glad and happy, and it brings your girl joy that these discussions are happening. Because topics, mental health, black men, black men, black men, black men. You guys will forever be a topic for me. Always, always be a topic for your girl, because you guys are important. We need you. And that's why we're having these discussions. So thank you guys for coming out, having tacos and tequilas with your girl. Nobody wanted to call in with your girl, but that's all right, because you still have a chance. Tips Tea Thursday to get with your girl. All right. Let me see. I'm gonna close this one out like I close out the Tips Tea Thursday and everything else. And this is what I'm saying. Don't worry about what they say. They've been talking. And they gonna be all right. All right, y'all. I'll see you Thursday.